Sometimes, late at night or very early in the morning, when the noise of the world is a little softer, a question appears. What am I doing with my life? Not just, what am I doing today, but what is all of this for? The work, the routine, the English, the relationships, the constant rush. Is there a direction, or am I just repeating days until time runs out? Before we dive into this, if you enjoy content that helps you improve your English and at the same time invites you to think deeper about your mind, your habits, and your life, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. It is a small gesture, but it supports this project and helps this kind of message reach more people who might need these reflections. Today's topic is living with purpose. Not a perfect, clear, Instagram-ready purpose, but a life that feels less random and more aligned with what really matters to you. Let us start with a hard truth. You can have a full schedule and an empty life. You can have many tasks, many messages, many distractions, and still feel that something important is missing. For many people, life becomes a sequence of reactions. The alarm rings. You go to work. You answer emails. You solve problems. You pay bills. You check social media. You sleep. Repeat. You do what is needed, but you do not always know why. Purpose is not about having a dramatic mission, like saving the world or changing humanity. Purpose starts smaller. It is the sense that your days are connected to something you consider valuable, that your actions are not only survival, but contribution, growth, truth. Now let us clear a confusion. Many people think that purpose is something you discover one day, like a hidden treasure. You sit on a rock, look at the sky, and suddenly a voice declares, "Your purpose is, from now on, you will be this." Movies love this idea. Real life is less simple. For most people, purpose is not discovered in a moment. It is built over time, through attention, curiosity, and choices. Purpose is not only found, it is created. You notice what lights you up. You notice what hurts you in a good way when you ignore it. You notice what you feel called to improve, to protect, to understand. Then, slowly, you organize more of your life around that. Not from one day to the next, but step by step. Now, what does this have to do with English? More than you think. If English, for you, is only a school subject, a problem, an obligation, it is very easy to postpone it forever. I will study when I have time. I will speak when I feel ready. Maybe later. But if English is part of a bigger purpose, something changes. Imagine two people. Person one studies English because everyone says it is important, and they want to avoid feeling ashamed. Person two studies English because they want to connect with people from other cultures, or work in a field they care about, or have access to ideas, books, and conversations that help them grow and help others. For person one, English is a wall. For person two, English is a bridge, the same language, different purpose. Who do you think will find more energy to continue when they feel tired? Living with purpose does not mean you are always motivated. It means you have a deeper reason to return, even when your mood is low. Let us go a little more philosophical. There are three questions that human beings have asked for thousands of years. Who am I? Where am I? What am I here for? We will not fully answer these today, but we can touch them. Who am I? Most people answer this with labels. I am a teacher. I am a mother. I am an engineer. I am a student. I am shy. I am Brazilian. I am bad at English. These labels are not completely false, but they are partial. They can change. They are roles, not essence. Where am I? You are in a world that is complex, fast, confusing. A world with wars, technology, beauty, injustice, opportunities. You are also in a specific point in your life. Your age, your body, your history, your responsibilities. This is your stage. You cannot choose all the elements of your stage, but you can choose how to move on it. What am I here for? This question can feel too big. Some people turn it into something rigid, as if there was only one purpose, and if I do not find it, my life is a mistake. I want you to relax this idea. Instead of I must find the one purpose, you can think, there are certain values that matter deeply to me. If I live close to them, I feel more alive. If I live far from them, I feel empty. Values are like a compass. They do not tell you exactly which street to take, but they tell you which direction is north. For example, maybe one of your values is learning, another is connection, another is honesty, another is service. Living with purpose means aligning more and more of your time, your English, your relationships, your work with these values. If learning is important, then when you study English, you are not just memorizing verbs. You are honoring your value. If connection is important, then when you push yourself to say one sentence in English to another person, you are not just practicing language. You are living your purpose. Purpose is not always a big project. Sometimes it is hidden inside small actions. Now we need to address a modern problem: the comparison of purposes. You go online and you see people saying things like, my purpose is to impact millions of people. My purpose is to transform the world. And maybe your purpose right now feels more modest. I want to be a present parent. I want to treat people with kindness. I want to live with integrity. I want to take care of my mental health. I want to use my English to create a better career and support my family. There is nothing small about that. Your purpose does not need to impress anyone. It needs to feel true to you. There's a quiet kind of purpose that will never be famous, but it is immensely valuable. The nurse who treats patients with dignity. The teacher who encourages one student to believe in themselves. The person who breaks a family cycle of abuse or silence. The adult who learns English later in life and opens a door that their younger self never had. These stories do not always go viral, but they carry real meaning. Do not let the marketing of purpose make you feel that yours is not big enough. Now let us talk about attention. On one hand, you want a purposeful life. On the other hand, you still need to do boring things. Laundry, emails, commuting, answering messages. Does living with purpose mean every moment must feel magical? No. Living with purpose does not remove the ordinary. It changes your presence inside the ordinary. You can wash dishes with resentment, thinking, my life is a prison of tasks. Or you can wash dishes with a quieter heart, thinking, this is part of taking care of my space and my people. It is not my entire purpose, but it is connected to the life I want to support. You can study English thinking, I hate this. This is a punishment. I am a failure for not knowing this yet. Or you can study thinking, this is not always comfortable, but it is a tool for my future, for my values, for the person I am becoming. The same activity, different meaning. Your purpose adds meaning to actions that could feel empty. Let us do a small reflection. Think about a typical day in your life, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. How many moments feel automatic, without presence? How many are you truly there, with awareness? Living with purpose does not mean you must transform every second, but it asks, can you be a little more awake inside your own life? Not living on autopilot all the time. Now, a question may appear. Do I need to know my purpose clearly before I act? No. Many people wait to have a perfect phrase before they move. I cannot choose a course, a job, a project, because I do not know my purpose yet. But purpose often becomes clearer when you are moving, not when you are sitting still. You try things. You learn. You feel. This job drains me. This activity excites me. This group brings out the worst in me. This kind of work makes me feel useful. Purpose is refined by experience. The same with English. If you wait to feel perfectly clear about your purpose with English, you may stay exactly where you are. But if you start using it in small ways, a pattern may appear. You might notice that you love understanding books, or you love deep conversations in English, or you love using English to teach something else. The purpose emerges from action. Now let us talk about something a little uncomfortable. Death. We do not like thinking about it, but remembering that you will die one day can be a powerful way to clarify your purpose today. Imagine an older version of you, far in the future, looking back at this moment of your life. What would they thank you for? What would they wish you had done differently? Would they say, "Thank you for spending so many hours worrying about the opinion of strangers online"? Or would they say, "Thank you for taking care of your body. Thank you for learning that language so you could have more options. Thank you for being brave in that difficult conversation. Thank you for being curious, not just cynical"? Sometimes, to live with purpose, you need to ask, if I knew my time was shorter than I think, what would I stop postponing? Maybe you would finally send that email. Maybe you would finally start that English practice. Maybe you would call someone. Maybe you would declutter a part of your life that is heavy. Purpose is not about panic. It is about remembering that your days are limited and that how you use them is not a trivial decision. Let us bring this to something very practical with English, but in a deeper way. Instead of asking, "How can I study more English?" ask, "How can English serve the life I want to live?" For example, if you value freedom, English can increase your freedom. Freedom to work remotely, freedom to move, freedom to not depend on translations. If you value understanding, English can open thousands of books, lectures, conversations that deepen your understanding of the world. If you value helping others, English can allow you to work in contexts where your contribution reaches different communities. When you connect English to something bigger than not making mistakes, your relationship with it changes. It becomes less about your ego and more about your path. Now, another aspect. Living with purpose does not mean you are always confident. Sometimes, living with purpose will make you more uncomfortable because you will make choices that are not the easiest. You may say no to things that give immediate pleasure to protect something that matters more deeply. You may feel lonely for a while because you are in a transition. You are between the old life that no longer fits and the new life that is not completely built yet. This in-between space can feel scary. Purpose does not remove the fear. It gives you a reason to walk through it. There is also the risk of turning purpose into a new way to attack yourself. You might think, I am not living with purpose enough. I am wasting my life. Other people are more aligned than me. Careful. The point is not to create a new form of self-hate. The point is to invite more honesty. You can say, in many moments, I live on autopilot. I want to change that, little by little. Purpose is not a trophy you win. It is a direction you return to. Sometimes you are close. Sometimes you are far. What matters is that you keep coming back. Before we close, let us do 2 small exercises. The first is a question about today. At the end of the day, when you put your head on the pillow, what is one thing that would make you think, today was not perfect, but it was a good step in the direction of the life I want? It could be something with English. It could be how you treated someone. It could be a decision you finally faced. It could be taking care of your health. Make it specific. Not, be better, but send one message in English, or listen carefully to my child, or say no to one thing that is not aligned with my values. The second exercise is a sentence. Complete this. When my life feels meaningful, I am usually... What? I am usually learning something. I am usually helping someone. I am usually creating something. I am usually listening deeply. I am usually using my English to connect. This sentence gives you clues about your purpose. It shows you which activities and attitudes put you in a state of meaning. You do not need to live in that state 24 hours a day. But you can intentionally create more moments like that. Living with purpose is not about controlling everything. You cannot control every event, every person, every result. But you can choose how much of your limited energy goes to things that are connected to what you truly value, and how much goes to empty patterns that leave you with the feeling, I was busy, but I was not alive. When this audio ends, the world will keep pulling you in many directions. Notifications, obligations, noise. You do not need to fix your whole life in one night. But you can ask quietly, what is one small way I can live a little more on purpose today? Maybe you will choose to say a sincere thank you to someone. Maybe you will open that English text you have been avoiding and read one page with full presence. Maybe you will step outside for 5 minutes, look at the sky, and remember that your life is not only a list of tasks, but a chance to grow, to love, to learn in your own way. Living with purpose does not mean you will never feel lost. It means that even when you feel a little lost, you keep asking, you keep listening, you keep adjusting, and you refuse to live your days as if they did not matter. They do, and so do you. See you next time.